Shalom, this is How Come Yara Ben-Emmett with a quick note for the Torah Watchman Show International. I was talking to a friend in Israel today. As you know, getting close to the month of Adar, Ramadan is about to start. And despite the war in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu is not punishing the Palestinians for supporting the war with Hamas. What is he doing? He's putting some minor restrictions on the Arabs there, and he's opening the door of the Temple Mount to have hundreds, if not 1,000 or more Palestinians, maybe some terrorists mixed in because he's released a lot of terrorists, to go to Temple Mount for Ramadan. But the whole idea of Ramadan, and I think it should be canceled, not only this year because of the war and the threat and the risk there, but from every year pouring forward. Why am I saying that? Am I an Islamophobe? No, I'm an historian and I speak the truth. What we discussed is the whole thing about Muhammad's night vision is based on a lie. Okay, for instance, in the Quran, nowhere is Jerusalem mentioned. Nowhere is Har HaBayit or Temple Mount is mentioned. Muhammad never set foot physically in the land of Israel ever. In fact, the word Palestine is not even in the Quran either. These are all new things that were invented over a period of time. The main point is to understand the Holy Prophet Muhammad of Islam, his night vision, you have to understand the farthest and the nearest mosque. This was a night vision he had, riding a mystical steed. But the mosque that is known and by Hamas today on Temple Mount as Al-Aqsa, and they refer to all the Temple Mount, all the Jerusalem as Al-Aqsa as a point of conquest over the whole area. They refer to it as Al-Aqsa Mosque. Why do they do that? Why do they want to worship on a Jewish Temple Mount instead of going to Mecca with all the other Arabs going there? Well, there was a schism going back to the death shortly after Muhammad, after the 6th century and leading up to the 8th century. There's a group of individuals by the name of the Uqads, and they are a separate caliphate that had a different opinion from the interpretation of Quran shortly after Muhammad died. Anyway, a group of Arabs, long story short, a group of Arabs, Muslims, chose to worship in Jerusalem versus Mecca. Why? Because they made up, the story of Al-Aqsa was actually, in Temple Mount in Jerusalem, but in reality, scholarly opinion, we've always proven this. We've always proven this. It's in a small area, village, actually in, I'd say, southwestern Saudi Arabia, named Al-Ji'rana. A small village there has a historic site there for Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's actually referred to, actually in the Quran, as Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Coincidence? No. But anyway, I thought you might find this interesting because the Arab schism going back to about 8th century and a difference of opinion after Muhammad died for how to interpret the Quran, who was the proper authority of that. They got into a big argument, and that group of Muslims known as the Umayyads were prohibited to go into Mecca. So they had to make up a story. And there was a imam, I believe, in Damascus, that rewrote the Quran to say that Al-Aqsa was not in Saudi Arabia, but actually was in Israel. So you see how things go. May history always be our guide. Okay, it's wonderful to have faith and believe in things, but if they're not quantifiable, it becomes like a cult or a sect. Anyway, that's the way it goes. Take care, and I'll talk to you real soon. How come Yara Ben-Emmett signing out.